Okay, can you guys hear me? All right. Welcome. Happy Valentine's Day. Did everybody have a nice morning of their Valentine's so far? Hopefully. I woke up to some balloons and some surprises for my daughter, which was kind of nice. And yeah, we'll be planning to go out to dinner this evening too. So hopefully you guys have some plans as well. If not, it's always the weekend, right? Aw, very cool. How old's your daughter, Lisa? Oh, you're working tonight. Oh, that's a great age, 10. Awesome. Very, very cool. My daughter is 4, so she's kind of just starting to get into, yeah. Aren't they amazing? She just started getting into writing her name, so she's ending her final year of her second year of preschool, so they were doing Valentine's and all that good stuff, so very cute. Yes, me too, my only child. Gotta love it. How's everybody else? How are you doing today? How's your projects going? You're starting right after class, okay. Well, good. So today's going to be kind of a more flexible lecture. Like I said, since we covered a lot of stuff on Tuesday, I'm going to just do a quick little review, go over how to upload your final files to Behance. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to kind of give it up to you guys to see if you want to talk about anything, questions, show any of your work, troubleshoot. Try to get the template. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you guys got my link to the Google Drive. If you didn't, let me show you real quick where that's at. And I know some of you guys said something about one of the files not, like the smart object was not working. I think it was for the perfume one. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Actually, let's go to announcements here. So this I posted this on actually the 12th, so a couple days ago. This is a link to the Drive folder. So all you have to do is click on it. It takes you right to the folder of the external hard drive. And the mock-ups are right in here that you'll be able to open. Might take a while here because it's a big folder. Just double click on that. And there's a whole bunch of mock-ups, some in folders, some not in folders that you guys are free to use if you need to. You don't have to use those. It's just something that is an option. And one of them I showed in the demo on Tuesday. The other one I created was like not the perfume one, the hot sauce one. So that's where that's at. Well, welcome to week 4 live session 2. This is our final session. And like I said, we're just going to be doing some review and then the final step of your project review for this lecture, opening it up for critique afterwards. So just in review, what we went over the last time we met, we talked about craftsmanship, creative craftsmanship, how important it is, especially in your presentation. We talked about beauties in the details, paying attention to those details, even the smallest details, alignment, all of the principles of design is super important. And then also we're discussing the avoiding pitfalls, pre-flighting files before outputting. You guys are doing really, really awesome on the discussions this final week. So it's nice to see all the effort being put into the last week of the discussions. And I hope that kind of maybe made you more aware of things to think about when pre-flighting before you go to print. Good. All right, so we're just going to be talking about a few things here: preparation of final artwork, the missing link, creating a bulletproof PDF, gathering the bits and pieces, and then we're really going to be just kind of going over the last bit of your assignment 4. All right, so the missing link. So when you have images in your Illustrator file, you need to make sure that all elements are present and updated before you send your job off to the printer. So there's hopefully no missing links or even outline or fonts that are missing in Illustrator. I know I had some of you guys have some of that missing when you are submitting your files for evaluation. I would open up your files and it would say, oh, missing fonts. So, make sure that you are making kind of keeping an eye out of those details. Let me share my Illustrator file here, my box. Some things that kind of check out when you go in Illustrator and you go to File, Document Color Mode. This is where you change it from RGB to CMYK if you're ready to submit it for your final, like say a final print job for a printer. You would just select that. There's also a package option similar to InDesign where you select that and you can package all of your linked images and fonts all in one folder. You just click package and it creates a folder that you can send to the printer if that's kind of what they want instead of a final PDF. When you send a final PDF, obviously we're going to talk about this too, and I posted this in the discussion in terms of the PDF. We'll get to that in a second here. Actually right now. So creating a bulletproof PDF. So attention to detail must be taken when preparing your files for professional printing. Even a PDF, if you're sending a PDF instead of a packaged folder, you really want to make sure that you're checking out, pre-flighting almost the PDF in itself. So here is a great website, and I took this as a citation. Oops. I don't know why this isn't working. In one of the discussion posts. Why isn't this working here? PDF. Let's see if this is there we go. So I put this in one of your responses in the discussion because I thought this was important because it talks about how, it just talks about what PDFs are, how to edit PDFs, pre-flight PDF files. So there is a pre-flight for that as well. So let me click on that. So just making sure there are some mistakes that you can come up with, or there's 10 most common mistakes listed here, which I actually provided in the discussion that you want to make sure that you're not doing. Let me click on that because it's very interesting. It has a list here. So they're not foolproof. Obviously they could be troublesome as well, even though you think, PDF automatically converts everything so you don't have to worry about attaching or worried about linked anything. But there is some issues that you can kind of run into. And these are the common errors or mistakes that you can run into with PDF files when you're sending it to print. So one of them, number one, is the resolution of the images is too low. That's a big one. So they may look pixelated. So making sure that's not happening. Use of incorrect or unwanted color spaces. So again, many printers request CMYK files. So any PDF file containing RGB or lab data will be incorrect. So that's a common mistake. Bleed is missing. Oops, I went to embedded file, sorry. The bleed is missing, so unless this is corrected, a thin white line may appear between the paper edge and close by images or tinted areas. So making sure that you include the bleed is a good thing in a PDF. And that's all settings. So when you create a PDF that you can get into, once you say save as a PDF, you can kind of adjust that and say like, show bleeds, or even printer marks. Fonts are not embedded in PDF. So, this can also be an issue. There are problems with transparency, when you have a transparent transparent box over like an image, for example, might be an issue. So, you know, there's a whole list of this. I'm not going to go over each one of these. I actually posted this in the discussion, but some things to kind of think about whenever you're saving for PDF. So let me go back to my box here. I'm in Illustrator and I go to save as, oh, sorry, Adobe PDF. And what happens is it brings up a box, or should bring up a box here. And just save this to my desktop. So there's different settings here that you need to be aware of. The Adobe preset, if you're printing high res, what you want to do is the press quality or high res, and how you can check that, because you can shift these too. If you select press quality, these are the settings for a high quality printing press. If you go to compression, once you select that, you'll see that they're telling you here the bitmap images, if there's any in here, they're being compressed to a certain pixels per inch. So these will be all high res, so 300 pixels per inch on up. If I were to switch this to smallest file size, you'll see that pixels kind of decreasing here, and that's because that's obviously for a lower, smaller res file. Purposes of that would be just sending something for approval on screen to look at, you know, submitting your work, for example, for review for my sake to view it. That would be good. But high res, that's good for press quality. So just kind of be aware of the differences there. You also have a marks and bleeds section on the left-hand side here. This is where you can control all of your, you know, trim marks, all printers marks. You can select this, it selects all of these. Or if you just want to be, say, just trim marks and registration marks for the printer's sake, page information color bars, you can choose that as well. Some of these aren't necessary for printers. You know, trim marks are nice for printers, but they may not need all this information. So that's something that you can talk to your printer about. But there is a bleed option. So if you have a bleed in your Illustrator file, you want to check mark this so that you're using the document bleed settings. If you uncheck it, you can kind of make up your own here, but if it's already in your documents, why not just check that and it follows your bleeds. The output here, you know, something that you don't really have to worry about. This is just color output, unless the printer obviously needs you to change something. Advanced, we're just going to ignore that. Security, this is if you wanted to require a password for your document, say if you don't really want everyone to use it or open it, you have a security password for that. It just kind of saves you with, you know, for anybody, especially if you're posting it online and you only want someone to download to be able to, you know, look at it or even edit it, you can lock it as well. But those are basically the basic things to look at whenever you are creating a PDF for print. So it's crazy like how many steps there are involved in the pre-flighting process, but and every program's a little different, but pretty cross-platform in how you do it. Packaging the file is really similar in Illustrator as it is in InDesign, for example. So it's just a few things to think about. Gathering the bits and pieces. So Illustrator's package function is a great feature because you can be sure that the printer has everything necessary to print the job. Now Illustrator, this is like not super new to Illustrator, but I know whenever I was in undergrad, they didn't have a package option in Illustrator. So it's something that's kind of evolved along the way here. You know, I've been doing this for 20 years, so I've seen a lot of changes, but kind of nice to have that option in Illustrator. All right, we kind of talked about creating professional design mockups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right into the second part of our project. Does anybody have any questions about what I just kind of went over? Nope, pretty straightforward there. Okay, let's go over, because we didn't go over how to save your work for, excuse me, for Behance. Some of you guys are already way ahead. I noticed people are already kind of submitting their final work, and also their Behance link. So that's great to see that. You know, obviously, if you need time, you know, and more feedback, that's great too. But I did notice some of you guys already doing that. So it seems like you guys are pretty familiar for the most part on how to do that. Some of your other assignments maybe in the past have required you to do this. I know I've taught many classes at Independence, and they started to do a lot of the submission requirements in a lot of the classes doing this section. And like, what's really nice about that is, and I remember them talking about this, is your portfolio at the end of your time here, something that could be forgotten about, you know, because we're so involved in every single mod, just kind of getting work done, that we're not really thinking like, oh, there's an end point to this, which is, you know, your portfolio. So having you guys do this in every class that's, you know, appropriate for your portfolio needs is important, because it kind of helps you guys save time and energy and get your portfolio kind of ready to go. And so that by the end of your time here, you have a lot of pieces maybe in your Behance site to, you know, you can update them, but you have them there. It's a great start to having something that you can actually send somebody for, say, a job. What's nice about Behance is you can just send a link to a, you know, a possible employer, and it's super easy, you know, and they can access it very easily. There's other things that Behance is great for too. Inspiration. You can follow, for instance, not only individuals. So if you know a freelance designer or a famous designer or photographer, illustrator, even I think there's architects and interior designers on there, artists, like fine artists, but also companies. So you can find agencies on there. You can find studios on there, creative studios that you can follow and see what their work, how, you know, how their work is progressing, kind of look into what they do. So, you know, you just never know. If you apply for a job with someone, say who you're following on Behance, you can tell them in your interview, you know, I follow your work on Behance, you know, and just kind of, it just shows a general great interest. And it's not like you're just looking for a job to get paid. You're saying, hey, you know, I follow you on Behance. And so it's kind of a great component to, you know, if you do have access to somebody's work that you're applying to get a job with. So just kind of keep that in mind too. So we're going to go over, and that's pretty much why we do this. So we're going to go over the steps here in order to do that. For those of you who may be new to this, we showed you how to save it as a PDF for your final submission. So you're going to do that for your assignment 4. You're just going to submit as normal for assignment 4. So submit for grading. And then you're going to upload the final mock-ups to your Behance portfolio site. So whether you have 1 or 2 or 3, those are the mock-ups that you're going to post to your Behance site. Once you get that uploaded, you're going to send an email to your faculty advisor. If you do not know who your faculty advisor is, please let me know. Just send me an email. I will look it up. I do have a list, so I'm good. And then also, don't forget, when you email your faculty advisor, carbon copy, CC me. So my email address with the URL link to your Behance portfolio site. And my email address, again, is, I'll show you kind of here, hold on, is in the About the Instructor. If you're wondering where that's at, this is my email address, okay? Any questions about that? Oh, okay, you guys are all following each other on there. That's cool. Very cool. At the end of the week here, I will post my link. I like to kind of keep in touch with you guys that way as well. So I will actually post, I don't know if I have my I might have my Behance link. I have my LinkedIn link, URL there too, so you guys can stay in touch with me. Yeah. You'd be amazed how many students I have had. I mean, I've been teaching here for 6 years, you know, check in with me and you know, kind of give me an update, which is kind of cool to see where you guys are at and just stay in touch in that regards. Okay, so you're just gonna, let me show you kind of the steps to do that. So let me open up Photoshop here. I already have it open, but let me open up my actual project that we just finished up on Tuesday looking at in the demo. And like I said, I'm gonna, you know, this is gonna be 5-10 minutes here, and then I'm just gonna open it up to you guys. So don't feel like we're gonna be talking for a long time here. Okay, great, Lisa, yeah. All right, so share my Photoshop here. This is kind of where I stopped the last time that we met here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna save it as a PDF, right? So I showed how to do that, file save as in Photoshop. You're gonna save it as a Photoshop PDF. I'm just gonna save it to my desktop. And I believe I told you guys to save it as a high quality PDF. There we go. It's gonna take a little while there, saving 99%, all good. All right. And then when you're ready to save it for Behance, I believe you have to save it as a JPEG. I don't think it will accept PDFs. Yes. I always get that confused because I have so many different sites I post my work to. Yeah. Say desktop, just save a JPEG format, just save as. And you can keep it at the maximum quality. Click OK. Log into your Behance. If you don't have a Behance, behance.net is your link that you would go to. Now, I'm already logged in here, so I'm going to click on mine. You might already have, do you guys already have one? Yeah, probably, huh? Now, this is going to look a little different because this is mine, so you see a lot of my work here. Yours might be, oh, sorry, can't see it. There you go. That'd be nice if you could see it, right? Okay, so so yours might obviously be a lot different than mine depending on how many projects you have. But signing in is very easy. It's free. Just kind of have to, you know, it's just like any type of membership that it's free, and you put your name in and your background information, and then you get this to this point here. What you want to do is select create a project when you want to start uploading your work. It's very easy. Upload your file. Over here is where your add media links are. You can also use these as well, so it's really up to you on what you want to do. Always two ways to do one thing. I'm going to choose that JPEG file that I exported. Select it, and there you go. Pretty easy. Looks pretty good. If you notice that it looks pixelated at this point, obviously, hopefully you'll open up your PDF before and just see that there's an issue. But if your JPEG looks pixelated, just make sure you change that quality to number 10, the high quality, and it looks good in here. When you're ready to continue, just say continue. And this is where you can actually name your project title. So if you want to, you can name this the class number, and then package design, whatever kind of, you know, for this one I'd say wine label, package design, wine label, wine bottle, wine box, and label. There we go. You can choose your, you know, how you want to see it thumbnail wise when you first view it in Behance, so you can kind of make it bigger, smaller. Once you're ready to go, just say crop and continue. Now that's not going to crop your actual project that you view it as. It's just your thumbnail that you see it in when you first go into your account. Basic information you can add. Click on the add button and add anything that's like a keyword for this project. You know, packaging is obviously a good one to choose. There's print design. I think there's just like graphic design. I think they only allow you to pick so many, so just kind of be aware of that. product design program. Let's see. I mean, you can even put in typography. When you're done, I think you can only do 3. Okay, so 3 is good. Click done. Tools used, you can add in here, Adobe Illustrator, should come up here, Adobe Photoshop, and click done. Co-owners, you don't really have to add anything in there. If you were working with another creative on this, you could add that. Copy and license, obviously, if you're using anything in here that you need to mention and cite, you could click on that. And then obviously this is not adult content, so we don't have to check that. And then all you have to do is hit publish. Now what's gonna happen is it's gonna have this little thing pop up saying promote your work, so you can share it on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn. But here is what you need to pay attention to. This is the link that you need to copy. So just do a select all, or just hit this little link here, do Command C to copy it. And then when you email it, that link will be what you're going to paste in your email so that you can share it with your faculty advisor and carbon copy me on that. Now I'm going to go back to the beginning so you can see the whole portfolio as far as like the thumbnail that I just created. And when I highlight over, intuitively, you can see that the name pops up. My name actually shows you how many views there are, if anybody kind of liked it. And if I click on it, you can actually open that up and look at it a little bit larger. So this is where your faculty advisor and myself will be checking this out too. So if there's any issues in that, we'll let you know. If you are not wanting this to be on there at all or need to edit it, here's the edit button. You can promote it. This is, if you forgot to copy the link, you can hit promote. Here's the link again. So you can go back and click that link. Or if you want to unpublish or delete. Unpublishing means you'll have it in there, but it won't show when it goes live. Or you can delete. I'm just going to hit delete just to show you how that kind of goes. There we go. So you can start all over again if you need to. Any questions about that? Pretty easy. So just don't forget the link, because if you don't provide me the link and don't send your faculty advisor the link, you're going to definitely lose some points in the rubrics for that. Let me see here. Yep, so yeah, that's about 10 points there. So just don't forget that. So that's pretty easy. And you don't have to worry about uploading your flat files, just your mock-ups. If you have more than one, just do what I did, multiple times. If you want to show front and back, for example, or if you want to show the bottle in one view and then the box in another, you can go ahead and do that too. So have fun with it. Make it look great. Make it look cohesive. Make it look amazing. If anything looks off, you'll want to pay attention to those details, especially in the mock-ups. Alrighty, guys. So it's about 12 o'clock on my end. So we're a half hour into it. If you guys want to take a break, we can, but I'm just going to open it up from here. If you guys want to ask me any questions, go over anything, and even show your work for feedback. Lisa, you're good for now? Okay. I did have a student, let me see if I can pull that up so you can see an example. Hopefully you won't mind me showing it, but I think it's a good example. So obviously it would be a compliment. Send me a Behance link to his example. We kind of I used his examples to look at during our time here. So I just want to show you what it looks like in his Behance link. So this can be a really, really strong portfolio piece. something to be definitely very proud of. If you kind of paid attention to details, you know, and kind of worked through the changes throughout the 4 weeks of this class. Some of you guys have really strong projects. So don't, you know, this is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see you guys putting all this hard work into your assignment, and then at the very end, your presentation doesn't look as professional. So good. So make sure that you're keeping it strong all the way through, especially presentation. This is the one that I wanted to show you. Remember that we saw that example, the flat file example here. So this is the, okay, Naomi, that's fine. Yep, clipping masks can be a little tricky. Excuse me. Whoop. So I just wanted to share that with you. All right. Kind of neat to see other projects. Excuse me. Hold on one second, guys. Just getting out of my email here. All right. So yeah, it was pretty nice. Obviously, that was a little pump bottle, so maybe it was more of a cream rather than like a cologne. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Naomi, did you want to share your screen so we can take a look at your what you're dealing with your clipping mask? Or okay, let me unmute you and then I'll stop sharing and you can go ahead and show us what you got.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hi, good morning. Nice to meet you.
Good morning. Nice to hear you.
So I have a problem here with my clipping mask.
Okay.
Basically, you select the background and then
Did you create just like a empty square, not just the background, but an empty square over everything?
No.
Okay, so do that. So take your square and just go over like your trim edge there. Yep. And give it a no fill with, I don't think you even need a stroke really, as long as you have the element. So just
No fill. Okay. And do I select the background and as well as the wood texture?
no, you're just gonna shift select your background pattern at this point. So hold down shift and select that pattern and then go up to object, clipping, mask, and then make.
Oh my gosh, that was easy.
Yeah, I think your mistake was you were selecting the actual artwork. So there's so many different components in that. You just needed a simple square to link that clipping mask to.
Yes. Now how do I
release it? You go back up to object, clipping mask, and release, and then you'll be able to release it so you can move around the pattern if you need to.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, that was easy. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I'm smiling right now because it took me like more than a day to figure this out.
It's like the simple things that, you know, like you just need to know that one thing.
Yes.
I've been there before, trust me.
Thank you. That was all I needed assistance with. Thank you.
You're welcome, no problem. What about your box? Did you figure out your box too?
Yes, I am going to work on that. It's going to be a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I could make it work.
All you have to do is draw a simple rectangle over the basic box, you know, from the you don't even have to go from the flap, how I showed in the lecture where it's at the very top of your front panel all the way to the last panel and down. Just make a square and then shift select that with your pattern and you got it with the clipping mask.
Where's the rest of my image?
Just let it go. Sometimes it takes a view. Sometimes it takes a while.
Let's see. Give it one more try. Awesome.
Now it's going to clip it inside just that square. So you notice the flap on the top, it's no longer in that. So what you're going to have to do if you want it in that, say for your mock-up, if you are doing a top-down view, you'll have to kind of do a separate clipping mask for that top part.
Yeah.
If it's not a big deal, don't, you know, as far as the flat design, if you want to submit it with it leading out, you just need to apply it separately or add that extra little. What you would do is just kind of do a square on top and then just use your Pathfinder, like just kind of go over to your shape builder tool.
And connect them together.
Connect them together and then do exactly what you just did with that one shape.
Okay, great. I will definitely get on that soon.
It looks good. Looks good.
Thank you. And I am done for the day. Thank you.
Yay.
Stop sharing.
Great job.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Sometimes it's simple things that you don't, you know, it's just one of those things, you know, you're learning, and sometimes I get into, you know, one of those funks where I can't figure it out either. So you're welcome. Lisa, should she take her image to the bleed marks? Like the background texture? Yeah, I mean, she'd have to draw out kind of her basic one shape to do that. Yeah. That's the only tricky part. You know what I mean? Use your shape builder tool to kind of confuse those shapes together. As long as you have one shape to use, you can clip mask it so easily. You're welcome. Anybody else want to share anything or? How's everybody doing with finding a mock-up? Okay, so you're still looking, Beth, for a template? Yeah, they're a little hard to find. That's why I was trying to give you guys some different bottles. And feel free, if you want to use the bottles I gave you, feel free to use that and then use a separate box that I gave you as well. Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, very cool. Yep. You may be able to find others out there. There is, let me see here. I did want to show you guys this too. In Photoshop, I forgot to show you guys this. Put this back in here. Okay, if you go up to, let me share my desktop so you guys can see every panel up here. Hold on. Sometimes you can't see the panels up here. Okay, so if obviously you have your Creative Cloud up here on your top bar, so the little Adobe Creative Cloud. If you go to your stock menu and type in PSD Mockup, there's some templates that you can download free here, although I haven't really been able to find anything that's relative to what we're doing other than wine bottles, but I did want to show you this to you if you're interested in downloading, even if it's not related to this project, you know, in future projects or past projects that you had. These are PSD templates that you can download. Say, I know I taught a class that had signage. Here's a wine bottle. So some of these you do have to buy, but you know, it's based on if, you know, there's credits. Some of them are free though. I found the one that I've actually downloaded, the one that you just saw, is I got off of this actual source here. Some of this it'll take a little while here, but But just know that this is in there. And some of these are not all free, but it's pretty neat to take a look at all these. You can kind of see if any of these, you know, in the past, maybe you've designed certain things, business cards or anything like that. Okay, some of these, if like I just typed in free, some of some of them are free. You can see on the right hand side it says free. So if I were to type in, let's see, wine, let's just type in wine. Oh, it's not going to come up, so I'll just have to do a general search. But yeah, a lot of these are stationery or website. Oh, here's one here. That's more of like creams. Here's bags. So it's a little limiting on the free templates, but you know, I just wanted to show you that this is available through that Adobe Cloud there. You have options for other projects possibly. All right, so I guess we'll just wait here. Beth has, she had to kind of log out to get the mock-up just to take a look at. So we'll just kind of hang out in here. I'm gonna actually, let me step away for about 5 minutes. Let's take a 5-minute break so that I'm gonna take my dog out here. Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna do a 5-minute break and we'll come back and hopefully Beth will be back in here with her mock-up here. So if you have anything that you wanna show at that point, bring it in, we'll take a look at it. All right, see you in 5. All right, can you guys hear me? Sorry, it took me a little longer there. I had to clean up some puppy messes there. Naomi, you're an expert at clipping masks now. That's funny. Oh, awesome. You're welcome. Oh, Naomi, she left us. Just me and you, Lisa. All right, I'm not sure if Beth's coming in yet or what's going on. We'll give her a couple more minutes here, but I did want to thank all of you guys for all of your hard work. Like I said, I had 3 sections of this class, and you guys made it easy for me. Sometimes I'll have one section and students don't turn in their work for a while, so it's a little harder. Are not as enthusiastic, which makes it a little harder. But you guys have been really great. So 3 sections really didn't seem like 3 sections. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, it's I guess I fell in love with teaching because I feel like I thought, oh yeah, I'll be able to inspire you guys from my experience. But I find that when I walk away, I'm more inspired by you guys. And I never thought that that would actually happen. So it's really cool how we all can learn from each other and be inspired by one another. Oh, good. See, sometimes we have fears of the unknown. I think I felt that way before especially in my graduate classes. But sometimes it depends on the instructor too. I've had classes that I thought it would be a breeze, and I had instructors that weren't so great. And then I've had, like for instance, I had a web design class. I'll tell you a story. It's funny. I went back for my graduate degree 10 years after having my undergrad degree. So I wasn't the young one in class, and a lot of students that were in my class had a lot of web experience, like coding and all that, and I didn't. I actually graduated with more of a print degree. We didn't really get into the web design part, and I've always been a print designer. So when I went back for my graduate degree 10 years after graduating from my undergrad, I had to take a web design class. Yeah, exactly. And that kind of freaked me out. So, okay, hold on one second, Beth. So I'm just going to finish my story here. So, yeah, I was actually, when I found out that it wasn't really an intro to web coding, it was like something that you had to know before you took the class, and it was an intro web class. I just lost it. I was so worried, and every day I cried at my desk because I was like, I don't understand this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I had an instructor who literally would spend 1 or 2 hours every evening with me to catch me up with the coding part. So by the time I was done with that class, I ended up getting an A. Yes. So if I would have had any other instructor who didn't take the time to do that with me, I probably wouldn't have done as good as I did, and learned so much from it too. She was amazing. I will never forget that. She was an amazing instructor, and it just turned everything around for me. So it really does make a difference. All right, Beth, welcome back. So do you want to share your screen? Okay, let me unmute you, and then I will stop sharing so you can share here.
Where am I now?
Hello.
Hi. Well, hello.
Okay,
Okay, here we go.
all right.
All right. Gee, dang it. Okay. I'm getting the image in here. I'll just close out of that. I'm getting the image in here, like I get it in here. Whoops. It's not what I wanted to do, but I can't get it to show up here.
Okay, so go back to that panel. Yeah, that tab. delete that rectangle on top, that layer.
Yeah, I got the right one in here, at least. So,
Okay, so center that, because that's not quite centered. Yeah, when you're
it's not centered.
deleting that. Move that over a little bit. Yeah.
I don't think it'll let me click on it now.
If you use your arrow tool on your keyboard, just to bump it over.
Oh, okay.
That kind of helps because it does little moves. There you go. Go to the left just a little bit.
It'll let me.
Right. Yeah, it's going. Oh, too much. One click at a time. Okay, just bump it. No, just use your arrow.
Oh, there.
Arrow tool. There you go. Just use your arrow tool on your keyboard. Just bump it to the left a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Or to the right now.
Yeah, it won't let me do it on the keyboard now.
Right there. Okay, now select or deselect that. So select your move tool in your toolbox. There you go. And then hit Command Save. So Command S. And then go back to your document of the. Okay, and then pull out your layers panel so you can see the whole thing.
It'll let me.
No, go up to it. See where it says, oh, go back to that. See where it says layers on the very top?
Oh, up there. Okay.
No. Go back to your panel to the right.
To this one?
No.
No.
Go back to your actual layers panel. Yeah, right there. Go up. See where it says layers? Pull and drag that out.
Pull and drag it out.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Pull it up so we can see all the layers. There you go. And then pull that down. And then what you're going to do is see where it says, it's going to say left. So see what go down. See where it says left. Keep going right there. See the darker layer underneath where it says left. Hide that layer just real quick. Okay. All right. There must be another layer in there that you need to hide. Go up to.
Yep.
Go up to where it says details and hide the number 2.
Hide the number 2?
Yeah, that's on the right. Yeah.
Oh, that was right.
Should be under, yeah. Hide the number 2 under the left layer, just real quick. You have 2 of those. Under the left, there's like a white 2 and a black 2. Okay. Must be under one of these that is not showing. Go down a little bit. I just want to see what. All right, that's your base. Hide all of your number 2s just to see what's going on here underneath each of your layers. There we go, that one. Okay, so it's actually right. Okay, so click back on to your number 2 under right. For some reason, I would think that would be left. There you go. So you hid that number 2 under the word right, and that's kind of the culprit there. You can select number 2, have it view. So click on number 2 up under right layer.
Okay. Which one? The
number 2 on the top. Click on the eyeball. Cancel that. Just view it. So click on the eyeball. Click on the left so the eyeball shows. There you go. Now see where it says opacity up there on the top of the panel? You can dial that opacity down like I showed in the lecture so that you have some of the shine kind of coming through, or you could take it all the way off. And you could do that to both the layers.
Okay.
Yep. See, it's showing kind of like a shadow from the bottle on there.
Oh, okay.
So that's what you want that. You want it to look realistic, but you don't have to have it full, the full percentage, obviously, because you can't see it. That
I think
doesn't, yeah, that doesn't look bad. I would pull maybe down a little bit more just to get a little bit more brightness into it. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So then the next panel, it will be the left panel that you're going to be putting your file into.
That's not confusing at all.
Yeah. Well, when you placed that in there, what file did you choose? What layer did you choose?
What? I was the left layer. I know that I clicked on.
Go up a little bit. Go up in your layers. Just scroll up. Did you double click on the left? Yeah, you double clicked on the left. Okay.
This is
So
the
you're
one.
just going to double click on the right the next time on that part. Yeah.
Okay.
And that'll be your right panel, which will be your side panel.
All right.
And then just play around with the opacity underneath your right layer, layer like you did with the left.
All right.
It's a little confusing. Did you get
Yeah.
your label figured out too?
Did I get my what figured out?
Your label for your bottle.
Oh, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, all right. That's why I guess I was asking if you had that all ready to go. Okay.
Yeah, I got it all ready to go. I just haven't uploaded it yet.
Okay. All right. Well, it seems like you're good to go, though. You just need to set that all up.
Yeah.
Good. Any other questions or?
No, not that I can think of right now.
All right. So it's just playing around with those layers, which are a little confusing. I agree. With mine, I think, let's see here. When I was showing the demo, yeah, I just imported the left and the right, and then my right was exactly where yours is, was the front of the bottle. And then my left was my side, which is not showing up here. That's my, let's see, it's showing my left here. I think there's just so many layers in here. Let me see here real quick. That's my label. That's my label bottle. Yeah, so this is my left, and that was my right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not confusing at all. Ugh.
All right. But yeah, you just have to play around with the opacity. I think I had, let's see, 3% on this one. I think I left this one as is. Yep. And then this one was on my side. I ended up taking down the 32 under the details. So that gives a little bit of a darkness to it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Just a lot of layers. Not all PSD mockups have that many layers in it. I was actually kind of surprised to see how many active layers are in there, but there is a lot of filters and effects and that go into that as well. So it's just is more complicated because of that.
Yeah.
So good luck, Beth. I hope I helped you out there. I think you can see how you kind of manipulate the sides and everything.
You did.
And don't forget, you can change the background if you want. It's like some of the things you can kind of play around with.
Yeah. It's always the stupid things that trip you up.
Yep, exactly. The most simple things that you think, oh, I'll get this done, it'll be fine. And then it's like 2 hours later, just like the clipping mask with me.
Where is it going?
Yep, story of my life, right?
Tell me about it.
Aw. Any other questions or want to show anything else?
No, that should be everything.
Okay. Lisa, are you good to go? All right. All right, like I said, I'm gonna, and I can kind of hang out in here. If you guys have any questions as you're working, I'll kind of shut out whenever the time elapsed here at 1:30, my time 1:30. So I can just kind of hang out if you have any questions. If not, you're free to go and start working on your stuff. I will be posting my information for you guys to stay in touch with me. I might have you in future classes. I don't know. We'll see, because I teach all kinds of classes here. So, okay, no problem, Lisa. All right, so I'll just keep logged in here. I might be walking away every now and then, so just kind of bear with me. I'll be kind of doing some other things going on here, but I will kind of be checking back in here. You guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and good luck with finishing up your projects. It was a pleasure to have all of you in class, and I'm just excited to see what you guys come up with. Aw, thanks, Lisa. All right, Beth, great. I'll be talking to you soon, okay? All right.